Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So before we dive into these topics, as always, do me a favor, hit that like button if you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here with the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium Games announcement for January 2023. This was announced just yesterday. When it comes to the new additions to PlayStation Plus Extra, you're looking at Back for Blood, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Erica, Jet the Far Shore, Just Cause 4 Reloaded, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Omno, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. Now, when it comes to PlayStation Plus Premium new additions, you're looking at Hot Shots Golf 2, which is a PS1 game, Star Wars Demolition, a PS1 game, and Siphon Filter 3, another PS1 game. And Siphon Filter 3 specifically is confirmed to have trophy support. So if you are somebody who is subscribed to PlayStation Plus Extra or Premium, let me know what you think of the lineup for January 2023. Me personally, I think once again, PlayStation Plus Extra is looking really good. And I feel like Premium is looking maybe just a tad bit better. As I always say, I think Sony still has quite a bit of work to do to really make Premium, I think, seem worth it to most people. But in general, I think Sony's doing a good job with PlayStation Plus Extra. Now, I do also want to update you guys here and let you know that one of the games that I just listed was apparently actually put on this list by mistake, and it has now been corrected. It says here, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, that yet another PS Plus Extra January 2023 game has been removed from the recently announced lineup because it was added by mistake. Last night, Sony removed any mention of Just Cause 4's PS5 version after initially announcing it. Now it appears that PS4 game Sayonara Wild Hearts was a mistake too. Unlike Just Cause 4's PS5 version, which was quietly scrubbed from the PlayStation blog, Sony actually acknowledged that Sayonara Wild Hearts was not supposed to be announced. An update reads, quote, Sayonara Wild Hearts was incorrectly announced as part of January's game catalog lineup for PlayStation Plus, end quote. So yeah, that's another thing that is worth mentioning, is that a lot of people thought that there was going to be some type of PlayStation 5 upgrade for Just Cause 4 because a PS5 version was listed, but it was just simply a mistake by whoever wrote up the blog. But yeah, this is certainly more significant. An entire game was accidentally announced, as being part of the service, but apparently it's not going to be there. So figured I would update you guys. Moving on from that, we have an interesting update, I think, for Dead Space Remake, as the developer confirms a New Game Plus mode coming from PlayStation Universe. Dead Space Remake will feature a New Game Plus mode. Joe Berry, the game's senior writer, has confirmed during a interview with Inverse. While Barry didn't go into any further details on the New Game Plus mode, he confirmed that it will be featured in the game and that you definitely benefit from going through the USG Ishimura a second time. So for those who maybe are unaware or have forgotten, Dead Space Remake is right around the corner, releasing on current gen consoles and PC on January 27th. It's a game I'm personally looking forward to playing. Let me know if you're planning on picking it up. Moving on from that, we have what seems to be a new tease for a Spyro game. This is coming from PlayStation Lifestyle, where they say a recent tweet by developer Toys for Bob appears to be teasing Spyro 4 on Twitter. Toys for Bob was behind 2018's Spyro Reignited trilogy, which earned praise from critics and users alike. This is the first time we've seen any real hint of a new Spyro the Dragon game. Toys for Bob tweeted the following image earlier, with players quickly noting Spyro in the top left corner. This year marks the franchise's 25th anniversary. Spyro Reignited Trilogy brought the former PlayStation exclusive to multiple platforms. Last year, Microsoft announced the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which owns Toys for Bob, as well as the Spyro franchise. Players have since been left wondering whether games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, long associated with the PlayStation brand, will ever release on Sony's consoles again should the Activision Blizzard acquisition go through. It's quite possible that Toys for Bob isn't teasing anything and merely plans to celebrate Spyro the Dragon's 25th anniversary, but that hasn't stopped fans from hoping for a new game. So I'm curious to know what you guys think of this looking at this image. Do you think that Toys for Bob is teasing the return of Spyro? My personal opinion, I don't necessarily jump to that conclusion when I look at this image. Yes, we do see Spyro up in the top left-hand corner, and they are acknowledging the fact that it's going to be its 25th anniversary, but I just don't feel comfortable making the assumption that, oh, look, they're clearly teasing a new game. However, I do understand why some people would look at this and speculate that maybe that's exactly what they're doing. Maybe they are teasing that something is in the works, but until we get more information or until something else comes out that points in that direction, I think that it's too big of a leap to just look at this photo and assume that, oh, a new Spyro game is coming. But I do have to imagine that they're going to be doing something, something for the 25th anniversary. I mean, maybe they'll have a PS5 version or a current gen version of the, Spyro trilogy that they'll release or something like that. That sounds actually pretty realistic to me. So let me know your thoughts on that. Next up, we have a pretty bad report regarding Ubisoft. It seems like they may be in some serious trouble. I have a headline here from PlayStation Universe that reads, "Troubled Waters, Ubisoft delays Skull and Bones again and cancels 3 unannounced games." They say here Ubisoft seems to be in some troubled waters as its hotly anticipated pirate adventure Skull and Bones has been delayed once again for the 6th time total, with it now being pushed back sometime between the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024. On top of that, Ubisoft has also canceled 3 unannounced projects while revising its financial targets for Q3 2022-23, citing, quote, lower than expected, end quote, sales for its recent launches like Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Just Dance 2023. The last time Skull and Bones was delayed was September 2022 after being previously set to release in November 2022. From November, it was pushed to March 2023, and now it's being pushed back further. Canceling another 3 projects today also puts Ubisoft at a total of 7 canceled projects in less than a year that we know of. The publisher says that it is looking to reduce costs by $200 million. "We are clearly disappointed by our recent performance," stated co-founder and chief executive officer Yves Guillemot. "We are facing contrasted market dynamics as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and everlasting live games in the context of worsening economic conditions affecting consumer spending." Now, before I go any further, I want to refer to a tweet that just came out today, and it comes from American Truck Songs 9. He says, "After a terrible 2022, Ubisoft's Yves Guillemot tells staff that the next year is crucial, telling them in an email that, quote, the ball is in your court, end quote, to deliver on time / on budget. Quote, today more than ever, I need your full energy and commitment to ensure we get back to the path of success," end quote. Now, this was quote tweeted by SkillUp, and I wanted to read to you guys what he said because I don't think I could have put it any better myself. He says, "F this, Ubisoft's problems are entirely self-inflicted by upper management alone. They have thousands of talented employees and squander that by forcing them to chase trends and run franchises into the ground. The answer isn't workers work harder, it's new leadership." I think SkillUp said this perfectly, and I think he's absolutely on point here. When you look at Ubisoft, this pretty much sums up their problems. They do need new leadership. They have been chasing these trends to no avail, and they have been running these franchises into the ground. I feel like there's nothing wrong with companies trying to experiment with some things that look like they could, be the next big thing. But when you see it done in a way where it's just you're beginning to just throw stuff at the wall and it just keeps failing over and over and over again, and then you kind of, look to your employees and say, "Hey, the ball's in your court. You guys are messing this up." Like, no, you're messing up. You're messing up by failing to properly lead this video game publisher. And so, in general, it just really seems like Ubisoft may be in some serious trouble here. And so, I guess at this point, I want to ask you guys what you think. And actually, I also want to add to this before we move on. Apparently, Jeff Grubb, who has known to have some inside information from time to time and has been correct with a lot of it, claims that Ubisoft already made the rounds, basically talking to other publishers and platform holders to, look into possibly getting acquired. And apparently they were just laughed at ultimately, and no one has any intention of acquiring Ubisoft, because that's the thing, is you have to consider, why they're in this position and how things are really starting to go downhill. If you're a platform holder or a publisher, you don't necessarily want to acquire that type of burden. So very interesting times for Ubisoft. But we are moving on to the final topic here, which talks about the next major PlayStation 5 update and how it has apparently leaked out. This is coming from PlayStation Lifestyle, where it says the upcoming PS5 7.0 update will reportedly implement full Discord integration, as well as the ability to stream PS5 games. Support for Discord is a popular request from users, especially since Xbox players have enjoyed the feature for quite some time now. Streaming PS5 games is exciting too, at least for those with the speeds for smooth playback. This information is coming from Insider Gaming, a website that has been consistently reliable when reporting on leaks within the video game industry. The site's sources state that a public beta for the 7.0 system update will begin in the coming days, with it ending on January 30th. Apparently, the Discord functionality will not be active in the beta. The PS5 7.0 firmware update is expected to launch specifically on March 8th, so there's still a couple of months to wait before everyone can enjoy these new features, assuming that the beta goes well. So yeah, this is something that we've been hearing for some time now, the next major PS5 system update, and specifically hearing about Discord. But it's also nice, I think, that apparently we're going to get the ability to stream PS5 games. Personally, that's not something that I really care about too much, but it's nice for something like that to be there, as in an auxiliary or supplementary way for people to enjoy their PS5 games. And finally, we do have the latest PS5 firmware update that is available to download now, which prepares for the launch of the DualSense Edge. This is about a 1 gigabyte download and install, and it says it's going to allow the DualSense Edge wireless controller to be supported, and the system software update also, as always, improves system performance. So it's a pretty small update, but certainly significant for anybody who is looking to purchase the DualSense Edge controller. And actually, let me know down in the comments below if that is something you're planning to pick up this month. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.